right, here we go. Another fun-filled episode of Frosty Dingy coming your way. Got Cage Dolphin and the Flounder here. Cobe, other than breakfast, what the fuck's going on?
Not a hell of a lot. I did stay up late last night and watch that UFC fight. Did you catch any of the final of that, the final match between
No,
Kimlet and Gaethje?
I think honestly, I was in bed by about 9:30 last night. I was plenty tired, so it was a pass out and go to sleep type night.
I keep forgetting you're old.
Very.
You running up the high 40s ladder now. But no, that was one of the best fights that I've ever watched. That thing was action packed, a lot of hands flying, people getting smacked around, hardly any takedowns, a lot of flying fists.
Well, that's kind of fun. Like growing up, I was watch a lot of like boxing on HBO. Usually, it was and ESPN had a lot of Friday night fights, and I really like the boxing. I wish it would kind of make a comeback. It really hasn't, but that has to do with the I don't know the loss of power in the industry, I guess, especially to MMA. But MMA was cool. I mean, I remember getting together and watching early, UFC and early Pride fighting. 30 years ago, damn near at this point. Well, 25 years ago. So it's one of those things. The sport's changed. It's changed for the better. That's no doubt. Uh, but I haven't followed it the way I used to.
See, I think boxing's become boring, and the fact that there's 900 different belts that you can win,
Well, and that's the
there's no
problem.
centralized system.
And that's the problem. There used to be the three main belts, and that's gone away. There's so many different belts now that it just makes it rough to keep track of and enjoy. And honestly, I mean, people like the heavyweights. They really do. I know people are going to say Julio Chavez and, Roy Jones Jr. and all the middleweights are fun. They're great. They're great fighters. But like it's the heavyweights that bring people in. It was Tyson. It was Riddick Bowe. It was Evander Holyfield. And we haven't had a great heavyweight, I feel like, for a while. And I think a lot of that has to do with the UFC. And there's so much money in UFC right now that you can have a better potential financial windfall in UFC than you can in boxing.
Well, it's also the fact that they bring in the elite fighters, so it's gonna be a good match. A lot of those people that have the belts in boxing don't wanna fight anybody because they can't afford to lose the belt, because there is no centralized standard at all.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's the thing. And like I said, I mean, if boxing, if boxing wants to become popular again, which it could, there's a lot of good boxers out there. But if it wants to become popular again, they got to figure out a way to bring the people in and try to make things as unified as possible. And having 93 different belts per weight class doesn't help that.
So, since you brought up the UFC, you do know Dana White is launching a new boxing venture called Zuffa, right?
I did not know that. That as a guy who really did enjoy boxing growing up, watching and like I remember watching on like HBO. I think it was Saturday nights, and I would like sit there and score fights and like I was pretty heavy into boxing for a long time. So the thought of boxing being able to maybe make a feasible comeback and get popular again, I think that's awesome.
So it looks like it's launching in January, and it's gonna use the UFC style tournament-based model to structure the sport.
I guess I'm not sure what the UFC tournament style model is. I thought
Well,
they just
I think it's the ranking system where you actually have to fight within the ranking system to get to the
okay.
championship, and then, like, in UFC, if you lose too many times in a row, you're out, and they'll bring somebody new in.
Well, I think that's probably a good thing. Like it's you know as long as people are allowed to continue to work at it and improve. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. It keeps newer faces in there, and because I mean, boxing unfortunately can get kind of stale. You know what I mean? The same guys fighting all the time. It's a money grab for them. I get it. But to bring in the new guys and let them fight for their chance, give them the opportunity. So,
And a lot of it, I used the Google machine just to make sure I was right, but a lot of the reasons boxing fell off was the small it got fragmented up into a bunch of little organizations, and, like I brought up the titles, but a lot of the promoters were corrupt, and
Absolutely.
they they also had shitty matchmaking skills where they're putting 15-second fights together. I mean, look at some of those people they threw in front of Tyson there for a while.
Well, Tyson was just that good. But as of
Yeah, but
recent,
some
yeah,
of those
it's
guys didn't deserve to be there.
no. Well, once again, some of those, you had to find Tyson fights just because of the money that he brought in. It didn't matter who he was fighting. And, when he lost that match to Buster Douglas, Buster was not expected to do shit. That was expected to be just another Tyson cakewalk. And I think that's the fun thing about boxing is, you know what? It only takes a punch or two to give yourself a chance. It's not called a puncher's chance for no reason. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think a lot of those like bookers and or whatever you promoters, they push shit out. A lot of the top name fighters didn't want to fight each other because they wanted to try to guarantee themselves a payday against champions. And so rather than the number three guy going against the number two to try to, move up, they would, the number two guy would box a number 82 guy just to show up and he's popular. Pay-per-view, buys were high. He made his payday. He didn't really even have to, risk anything. It's kind of like college football, is getting to now, where if it's not a conference game, you're not going to play anybody that's going to risk giving you a loss. I think the powder puff season is going to be back in the college football next year. So I look forward to seeing a lot of University of Texas San Antonio games against, say, like Notre Dame and Alabama and maybe Michigan or something like that, just to get their money while they can, because those teams are not going to want to play anybody good.
Yeah, I don't see Notre Dame wanting to play anybody. I mean,
No, why would you?
they
You
they
now
they
you are
never have wanted to play anybody.
well. They
They just
always
want
used to.
everything
They
handed to them on a silver platter.
they always used to. They had the rivalry with Michigan, Michigan State, USC. They always had some good games, and now they're kind of opting out a lot of those because now they only got to be in the top 12 to get into the college football playoff. That's the new rule. If they're in the top 12, they're automatically in. That's a joke. It's one of those things that so they go undefeated against a bunch of powder puff teams and it gets them undefeated as the only one or two undefeated teams in the nation. So they're going to make the playoff. It's not making anything better for them. It's crap. The whole system's broke.
And they don't have a conference they have to win, so
No, nope. Nobody has
which
to play
should
Nobody has to play Notre Dame. Notre Dame has to beg and choose their opponents. Obviously, the smaller schools, they get paid to go play Notre Dame because Dame makes so much money off NBC for their broadcast rights. They can give, University of, you know, William and Kobe, Wes and Kobe, they can give Flounder University $1.5 million to come in and get beat at South Bend. Because to them it's just
there's a hell
money.
of an idea.
They're gonna make more money just making the college football playoff than they are giving it to the bullshit schools that they're going to end up playing.
There is your goal for this year. Dr. Parker, start your university. We'll bring in 11 people to go stand on the field against Notre Dame and we get paid.
Can we do it like the old movie Accepted, where we don't actually have a college? We just say
We
we
can
do.
we can do this out of the Casey's next door at your house. That way we have
Well,
bathrooms, we have
at,
a
at,
kitchen, we have health
at,
facilities, the Band-Aid
at,
aisle.
at least we won't have anybody overweight because their food's shit. I didn't realize until today that you guys, where you are located, are blessed having a quick start in your town.
Quick Stars are dog shit.
You are wrong.
I am not.
Well, and
I
then
despise Quick Stars.
then it was announced this week I will have a Bucky's coming within an hour of me in
Oh my god, do
West
not
West
tell the
Omaha.
girlfriend.
In West
There you
Omaha, there is a Bucky's coming in Gretna.
you you better get your guest room ready because the girlfriend's gonna be there every weekend.
You know, here's the thing. Like Bucky's is cool as an experience. I don't know if I would need to go to Bucky's once a week.
I wouldn't go once a week. I'd go every
Like,
day
yeah,
for
I don't
lunch.
even think I don't think I go to gas stations that often anymore. Where I don't think I would just want to go to the same gas. I mean, like, I know Bucky's is way better than just a gas station. I'm doing it complete disservice by calling it just a gas station. But like, I just don't. That's not where I'm going to hang out. You know what I mean? That's not
So
my
that
vacation.
last little
That's not my vacation destination.
that last little part you said there where I'm sorry, it's not just a gas station, it's better than that. Probably was like the episode on Billy Madison where Steve Buscemi just erased Billy's name off the paper because if the girlfriend could have heard you call it just a gas station, she'd be in the car and driving at you already.
Well, just make sure she brings me my Lone Star, which I assume is still sitting cold in the cupboard somewhere.
It is sitting on in the middle of the kitchen floor where I left it when I walked in the door from Texas.
Yeah. So here in a couple weeks, maybe we'll need to get together in Des Moines. We can have some lunch, and I can take possession of that. Maybe we'll meet maybe we'll meet in Cumming, Iowa. They're at
See,
the
I tried doing
Iowa
that last weekend.
going to
I
Cumming.
tried throwing that together. Yeah, I was trying to throw that together last weekend, but Dirty Dursky
A
wasn't
sick
going to be
invite,
there,
dude.
and he is the only one that I want us to walk through the distillery.
Sick invite, dude.
It didn't get put
I'm
together. I
just
asked the guy if
I'm
he was going
just
to be
giving
there
I'm
first.
just giving you
Calm your tits.
shit.
Don't make me come up there. I
I'm
will
just
drink all
giving
your
you
Lone
shit.
Star right now in front of you on the
Yeah,
camera.
that I would cry. Boy, I would cry. Oh, so
I'll
anyways,
go
yeah,
tell the
maybe
girlfriend you said Bucky's is just a gas station.
I didn't. It's so much more. But so looking forward to here in a couple weeks. Maybe we'll do this on a Saturday, and maybe we can figure out a webcam situation where we can just do the podcast from on location. Maybe we can try out some of their glorious alcohol that I do not have access to here because I sure would like to try the bourbon. I bet that's pretty damn good.
I have a half a bottle in the freezer right now, and it's bottle number 3. So I found out Hy-Vee carries it. So it's
Not
pretty
out
good.
here. Not out here. They don't. Guess
I highly suggest
next
wild
next
cherry vanilla Pepsi.
next time I'm in the Des Moines area, I guess I'll be stopping by and checking that out.
Well, our outgoing outs can't be next weekend
No,
because
I'm busy next Saturday.
I will be busy. Yeah, so you pick a
We're
day,
looking.
you let me know, and I'll
Uh,
figure
we'll
out the
figure it out.
logistics.
We'll figure it out.
Or
Probably a couple
better
weeks.
yet, I'll ask Dirty Dursky. I'll ask Dirty Dursky when he will be available on a Saturday to walk us through. I will send him a message.
Can I go ahead and just prepay for the $10 on pump two?
I don't think they're called pumps, and if you stick your mouth on a tank, you might get in trouble.
Well, I suppose that's probably not the way of the world anymore. Not since Bin
Doo-doo-doo.
Laden. I was watching. Oh shit! God damn it! Movie. Fuck! Why can't I think of the Hangover? I was watching The Hangover the other day. You know, just one of those things that was
The
on.
hungover.
And just that line. Yeah, I suppose not anymore. Thanks a lot, Bin Laden. Just fucking cracks me up. Makes me
I
laugh
think I've
every
seen
time I
that
hear
movie
him say it.
one time.
Once again, you do
Seen
love
The
to deny
Hangover
yourself
once.
joy.
Haven't I don't think I've seen the other ones all the way through.
I
I've
thought
seen
two was
bits and
a.
pieces of the other ones.
I've seen them all. Two's the one where they go to Thailand, and three is the one where they go back to Vegas, I believe. Um, they're okay. I mean, it's one of those things where Hollywood trying to run back something that was extremely successful and just be able to make basically free money because the first one was so successful, people weren't going to risk not going to the second.
So, like Avatar.
Yeah, you know, I haven't seen any of the avatars. My son's very hyped to go watch the third one. I'm like, I haven't seen the first two.
So, the first one, I understand when the movie came out, it was a big deal. But then they waited, what, 12 years in between the first and the second one?
Sure.
And then all of a sudden they're going right down the rabbit hole of every other trilogy where they just keep replaying the same plots from other movies and
I
piling different characters on them.
I think the best meme I saw all week, the best meme I've seen all week, Mimi, the meme.
Remember Mimi off of fucking the Drew Carey show?
Oh
Mimi?
yeah. So the best meme I've seen all week was this guy talking about, he showed his son, his teenage son, oh shit. Why am I blanking right now? The movie that came out in The Matrix. He watched The Matrix with his
Yeah.
teenage son, and the teenage son was like, "That's awesome. Is there any sequels to this?" And the dad's like, "Nope. They just one and done it. Just one and done it." They're like, we hit perfection with this one and called it good." Oh, memes are funny. Yeah, there she is.
Well, I
What a
thought you were
great
talking about
show.
me.
What a great show.
I do miss that show. I am not a huge fan of his watered down version of himself on The Price is Right now.
Well,
I get why he
I
did it. Don't get me wrong, I understand it. I just don't like it.
the fact that he's skinny, I don't understand what you mean by watered down.
No, he lost all of his funny. He's not funny
Oh,
anymore.
I haven't
When he
watched The
was doing
Prices.
stand up, when he was doing his TVs and TV shows and stuff like that, he was still edgy and, he'd make little jokes here and there that were borderline, on TV, but he was really dirty in his stand up. And I understand The Price is Right and why. It's a huge paycheck, and he went 100% no seasoning whatsoever.
Yeah,
He's like Hy-Vee food. You can't put any spice in it or the old people pull their funding.
all right, yeah, no, I guess I haven't watched The Price is Right forever, but I would say I don't know if we've discussed this show on here, but it's on Apple TV, and it's got Harrison Ford in it and the brown-haired chick from the Drew Carey show.
Narrows it down.
Fuck, why man, my memory sucks right now.
It's because you're old.
I'm gonna have to look it up because I am
You're going to have to
the
start playing those brain games that they got on your phone.
well, I do Sudokus every day, but that's apparently not working right this second.
How about you start with, matching the picture to their job?
Shrinking. The j the show's
What is it?
shrinking. Uh, it's
Never heard
got
of it.
it's the guy from, uh, How I Met Your Mother and Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, his name's Marshall on How I Met Your
Yeah,
Mother.
yeah, I'm I'm completely blanking on his fucking name in real life. Uh, but it's got him, it's got
He's the big,
Harrison
tall, ogre guy.
Ford. Yes.
Seth something, isn't it?
No, not Seth. Jason Segel.
There you go.
But Harrison Ford's in it. Ted McGinley, who of course is probably best known from Revenge of the Nerds, or maybe if you're, maybe I guess you could say he's best known from oh shit. You know what? I give up. We just need to call this a fucking podcast. I'm doing terrible.
Neil
Married
Flynn's
with
in it.
Children. Who?
Neil Flynn, the janitor off Scrubs. He's also the
Yes.
one that yells at Harrison Ford on
Yeah.
Kimball.
Yeah, he's a very minor character. But Kristen Miller is the brown haired girl I was talking about. Ted McKinley's hilarious in it. Um, it's a fun show. It's one of the executive producers is Brett Goldstein, who of course was Roy Kent, and Ted Lasso, which I can't wait for season 4 of Ted Lasso to come out. But hey,
That's not
so
coming out.
it is. But anyway, shout out
It
to
is
Apple
not.
TV for it is. It's been filmed. So shout out to Apple TV for having kick-ass TV shows.
Now you're making me look.
Yeah, it's been announced. They've already filmed it. It's coming out, I believe, March or April.
Mid 2026.
Okay. So,
I
anyways,
thought
yeah,
he was done doing that show. He said that he would
well,
never make another one.
he they
Bunch of
were,
fucking
and then
liars.
I think he was
They
done, and
found
then I
out there's a
think,
lot of money in it, and
well, it was very popular, and what they're doing is they are moving. The end of the season 3, Keeley shows uh Rebecca the plans for AFC Richmond women's division. And so Ted will be coming back to coach
yeah,
the AFC Richmond women's team. So they'll be
that
getting
sounds horrible.
There'll be a whole bunch of new characters. Some Roy Kent's still going to be in there. Beard's still going to be in there. I think Roy Kent will still be just coaching the guys team and shit. But like, they're all going to be there. Most of the cast will be there. It doesn't sound like Nate's going to be in it. I know Jamie Tartt's not going to be in it.
I hope
But
not. Fuck that guy.
anyways,
I hate
I, I'm
Nate.
I'm looking forward to it. Nate had the best redemption arc there was, and it told to me what it was the important line of the whole thing, and that was, I hope either all of us or none of us are judged at our worst, and that I think that's a strong statement.
When else are you supposed to judge people?
Well, like I said, either all of us or none of us. Look at the whole works. So,
I I judge people all the time. So do you.
well, yeah, but we're human. I mean, they're talking about the ultimate judgment, if you believe in that.
I get what you're saying. I also think that Ted Lasso was perfectly fine the way it was.
It was
100%.
beautiful.
They should have
They
left Ted
they
Ted alone,
they could
and
have
they could have done spinoffs with the other
yep.
characters, but Ted should be done,
They could have.
and he's just gonna ruin it on a women's soccer team.
I hope not, but I think they could have gone on in the show without bringing back Ted. Um, but you know they didn't, and we'll see how it works out. I am going to have an open view on
They
it. I'm not going to be negative because I'm not a negative person who hates fun.
I am not a negative person who hates fun. I enjoy fun, but when the fun's over, the fun's over. No more fun. Do you have a ticket for fun? If I sold you another ticket, then you're done.
You you do not like fun things.
I do like fun things. I don't like stupid things. There's a difference.
Sometimes
I do not think stupid is fun.
sometimes stupid is fun. We did a lot of stupid
Depends
things
on the
back in the day
stupid.
were fun.
Yeah, but they weren't really stupid.
I'm just saying. All I gotta say is
We
this
did a
line
lot of
right
dumb
here.
things that were fun.
Oh, how about stupid? No, stupid was definitely involved. Oh, you don't have a license. You got the least to lose. Oh, okay.
That was well played by us. That 100%. The best
That was
part is,
stupid.
how do we get home? Who drove? You did.
You.
But we do not condone that kind of
No,
behavior here on the Frosty Dingy podcast. We did
no.
not have Ubers or cabs back then, which
And
doesn't
we've
make it
learned.
right. But no, don't drink and drive, kids. That's for the old people. In the long, long ago, back when cars were 500,000 pounds, and if you hit something, you didn't feel it.
Indeed.
Speaking of that, you see the new thing that's going into cars in 2026?
No.
Anything made in 2026? From what I heard, I don't know 100% if it's true or not, but they're saying that there will now be mandatory shutdown switches installed in the cars. And if the computer inside feels that you are driving poorly, they will turn your car off.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just give all the power to computers. I think that's a brilliant idea. I mean, that's always worked out in every video I've
I
ever
thought so.
seen. Every movie I've ever seen where computers come to
The
life,
old
that always ends good for the humans.
I'm about to
Jesus
go get a
Christ.
shipping container and a crotch rocket so that way I can fight the iRobots.
Yeah.
I got to lose half of my arm though. I'm not quite ready for that. See, hater of fun
Well,
again.
so speaking of losing half an arm in Omaha yesterday, a guy was apparently laying on the railroad tracks, kind of down where
Aha!
down kind of by near where I work. And apparently a train came through and ran over his arm above his elbow, which lost him his arm. The police report said that he was conscious and lucid while in the ambulance being taken from the accident site to the hospital. So he was like, he knew he lost his arm by getting ran over by a train. So I'd say that
Now, did
is
he do it on
a
purpose? Was he taking a nap?
I I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. I don't know how you decide. Yeah, I feel like losing my arm today. I think I'm going to let it lay underneath a train as it goes through to lose it. That seems like, I mean, I guess it'd be quick, probably.
Was he recording for YouTube or TikTok when this
Uh,
happened?
I haven't
It's
heard. I have no idea. I don't know how this happened. All I
a hell
heard
of a
is
way
that
to
it
get
happened.
subscribers.
Yeah,
How did he end up on the tracks? He was laying on the tracks.
that's don't drive on the railroad tracks. That's one I agree with.
That's what I agree with. Yeah, good old Groundhog's Day is coming up. Are you gonna be watching the, Groundhogs movie for Groundhog's Day?
Probably not, but I mean, if it's on, I'll probably just watch it because it's a great movie. It's kind of a sad movie,
I
but
love that movie.
I mean, the thought of I mean, and who knows how long he was in that loop, it could have been decades. He could have
Oh, they
be
did the math on it. You gotta remember it takes 10,000 hours of doing something to become an expert.
Yeah, I know someone tried to say how long it taken, and man, that sounds just miserable. Um, I don't know why.
33 to 34 years.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely terrible.
They
Um,
suggest 12,403 days.
and you think how many of those times did you just kill yourself hoping it would be the end finally?
So, and Harold Ramis originally stated that the second draft of the script that Phil was meant to be stuck for 10,000 years,
Yeah, that would suck.
but they
That would
figured
be
out that
hell.
it was 33 to 34 years.
That would be terrible. So, hey, glad he got out. Funny movie concept. Hate to live it.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun for a little bit and then it'd turn straight into what he was doing, trying to kill himself the whole time.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe for the first week or two, you'd be like, yeah, fucking a. But then in the end, I don't know how long it would take, but it would drive you insane.
Well, once you figured out every little intricate detail of the entire town and the fact that you can't die, you can only have it's like playing GTA over and over again. At
Yeah.
some point, you just start making up games because it's so
Yeah.
boring. And especially when you can't find the ending and there's not that little weird brick wall you got to push to get out of anything. So, there's movies that have similar to Groundhog's Day. Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily
No.
Blunt?
No.
That's a great movie. Happy Death Day? My god. And I'm the one that hates fun.
Let's be honest. If it wasn't a like a Pixar movie, I probably haven't seen it if it's been made in the last 15 years.
You and your fucking cartoons anymore. Oh, I have big news. I forgot to tell you something that's right up your alley. I just saw it today. I believe I sent it to you. But our favoriteest restaurant ever that's in your favoriteest movie ever is breaking out all the stops for Valentine's Day this year. They're going to dim the lights, throw white cloths over top of the tables in there, and it's only by appointment on certain stores that you can have dinner for Valentine's Day in Waffle House.
All right.
You are not excited about this?
I think one of the better things I saw was I don't know if it was a tweet or just another meme, uh, but it said someone was bitching about service at a Waffle House, and the Waffle House Twitter or X or whatever official Waffle House X responded and said, "Oh, just go ahead, walk into our stores and tell us to the face." They're like, I think they were bitching about the waitresses at it, and their response was like, "Yeah, just come on into one of our stores
Don't
and
do that.
and let our waitresses know to their face. Any store will work."
Yeah, feel free to throw a chair at them.
Yeah,
It works out great.
yeah.
So there's a Waffle House in where I'm from in Odessa that kind of looks like the one in Midland. Sorry, Tin Cup is just flowing out of me right now.
That's a great movie.
That's why I figured you'd be excited about the Waffle House thing.
I didn't know what movie you're referencing there actually. So I'm glad you brought that all together. I kind of forgot you even
And
referenced that, to be honest.
you're the greatest movie. You missed that part.
Well, I would say it's tough to only name one greatest movie. I'd say there's a list of greatest movies. So, depending on the mood of the day, I think the greatest movie changes. It's a circular wheel of number ones.
So your favoriteest movies. Do you have a list of your rotation?
Well, I'd say it's one of those things that I don't know if I don't know if it'd be even fair to try to make a list because it all depends on the mood you're in. Like, yeah, absolutely. Tim Cup, great. Love it. Major League, love it. Bull Durham, I know you hate it because of blah, 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 and I'm a whiny bitch, but I love it. But then you can also go to, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Fucking awesome. Oh, great. It all depends on the mood I'm in. Yeah, I know. Anchorman, hilarious. Old School, hilarious. Dodgeball, hilarious. Yeah, you hate fun. You try to act like you're more like uppity than you are. I get it. You don't want to claim don't
Uppity.
yeah, you don't want to claim that you like the cheap
Uppity.
humor.
I haven't heard uppity in forever.
Yeah, you don't like to try to claim the cheap humor.
Hey, baby, I'm uppity.
Yeah, she just said, "Yeah." She knows. Yes. Yeah. 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 I heard the Tony, but she was like, "Yeah, tell me something I don't know." That's what she said.
How'd you like that text I had her send you?
Well, what's funny is I knew exactly what it was too. I read it and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh
I
my
told her you
god, why
would.
are we
Yeah,
having why are we having a 20-year-old conversation about this?"
because we haven't stopped having a 20-year-old conversation about it. It got brought up, not it specifically, but the size of those things got brought up, and I'm like, I've only been surprised by one pair, and you can ask Wes. So I made her.
Yeah.
I go, he'll probably bring up the fact that I didn't get to see a pair as well
I did
and
not.
rub that in. I
I
was surprised. I was waiting
I
for it.
don't
She about
I
fell
don't
off the.
I don't feel like I need to because you bring it up now. It's amazing. I don't
I
even
don't
need to do it.
because you've brought it up so many times that it's natural now.
It still pains you to this day.
Not really. Not anymore. It did back then, not so much anymore. Uh,
Anyways,
but she
yeah.
did about
So
fall off the couch with your response. So that was well played, sir.
I don't even remember exactly what I said, to be honest.
I was waiting for you to throw the name out there in the response because I'm like, he will name it, name that, and tell you exactly what we're talking about. She's
I
like, you
could
tell
have,
me. I'm
but
like,
I
no,
didn't.
you ask. I'm like, you ask Wes.
I could
So
have, but I
in the
didn't.
in the good news, well, I don't know if it's good news. I haven't asked, but our friend from there should be cleaning up right now with his golf simulator.
Well,
It
yeah,
is fucking cold out.
that's terrible. I don't even know if I would want to leave the house to go to a golf simulator right now. It's
I
pretty miserable. I was at district speech, I would say, yesterday, and I think the biggest temperature we saw was 5. Luckily, we didn't get near the snow around here. We got like a little sniff of snow, I guess I could say, just a little dusting, a little light dusting of snow. But I know down south it's a lot
didn't even get
worse.
enough for a straw.
No, so
It's supposed to be what, 12 inches or something, some places
I heard down south, yeah, it's supposed to be bad.
on the eastern. Now, a lot of people are saying that the weather people have no fucking idea what's going on
Well,
at all.
it's tough to
That
argue that.
this guy says we're
Um,
getting 15 feet of snow. The next person says we're getting an inch, and then all of a sudden it rains.
I think one of the better memes I saw was it was like the coloring map of the United States, and there was just like scribbles of different colors by like
Yeah,
a
that
2
was a
year
good
old,
one.
and someone's like, "This is the expected snowfall for this weekend," and there was like no legend or nothing. It was obviously just scribbled colors on a map. It's like
And it
nailed
wasn't
it.
any of the colors they normally use. Yeah,
No, nailed it, nailed it.
that's good shit. But I mean, the the rock. You remember the rock that
Great
hangs
movie.
out on the wall on the farms? No,
Well, yeah,
not the movie The Rock.
if
The
if
actual
it's wet,
physical
it's
rock on the rope that they hang out.
If
Yeah,
it's wet, it's raining. If it's white, it's snowing. If you can't see it, it's foggy. Yeah.
if it's gone, go to the basement.
Yeah.
Do you ever steal anybody's rock
No.
and just oh, that'd be funny. So here's a fun fact since you called me Helen Hunt on our last episode.
But yeah, only 3 people who watched the podcast saw that because it did get made into a, short or a TikTok
Oh,
clip, but
yes, it did.
yes.
It did.
Did it?
It did get made into one. It's a short
Oh,
video on YouTube. Thanks for
okay.
following your own channel. I
You
appreciate that.
bet.
Yeah, that's always the best when you don't even watch your own shit. You're helping support us there, Chief.
Hey, that's a
How are
scrub.
you ever going to get sponsored by Lone Star if you don't get our ratings up? But
I try.
since you called me Helen Hunt, uh, you know the big scare that they're trying to come out with for, I think it's August 12th of this year, and we're gonna lose gravity for 7 seconds.
No,
Remember
I've
anything
heard
about that?
some weird thing about that, but I haven't really paid attention to that because I don't believe it.
So I told the girlfriend that to set an alarm on her phone for the 11th so I can pick a field out in the middle of nowhere and tie myself to one of those pipes in the ground so I don't float away on the 12th. So that way I could really be like Helen Hunt.
Well, and I guess if we're talking theoretically, if we lose gravity, like, wouldn't we just stay where we are? Like, if we like jump, yeah, we would probably jump out of the fucking. I don't know how fast you'd be able to have to jump to get out, or to once gravity starts again in 7 seconds to come back down at a rate of pace that'll hurt yourself. But like, if you're just standing up, not moving, and gravity goes away, you're not going to really float away, are you? I mean, I guess Earth's rotation. I mean, I guess maybe technically. I don't know.
You're technically moving, so that's the problem. You're physically moving, and the only thing holding you on the planet is gravity. So if you're moving and the gravity goes away, you're going to continue on the path that you're moving, but without gravity, so you will float. Unless you're water on a space station, and then it just sits there.
Well, there you have it.
I don't know. So, like I said, do you want to take the chance or do you want to just be prepared? Either way, I'm probably going to forget about it and end up floating off planet, but whatever.
Yeah,
I think I'm
hey,
going to pick out a nice pipe and tie myself off. I think it'd be a good time. But that did start a debate. It's the Helen Hunt thing has started a huge debate that I think, I don't really think you should, but we're going to let you weigh in on it anyway. So, how long was Tom Hanks on the island in Castaway?
I thought it was like 3 years or something like that, wasn't it?
It was 5 years
Okay,
before
it
they
was a
found him.
while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Helen Hunt still had all the maps in the search grid laying on her dining room table, right? And she was still thought he was alive and was still trying to figure out where he went. How could she get married if
Well,
she still believed that he
I
was
mean,
alive?
I mean, technically, all I think you have to do is sign the piece of paper that comes from the court saying that,
No,
hey,
I
we're
get that,
married.
but
I, I,
emotionally, how could she
I
get
think,
married?
I think
How
at
could the
some
other
point,
guy accept it?
I think so. I don't know about on that, but as a human, I think at some point, even though we believed they would be alive, you would start to go through a mourning process. Um, just because they're out of your life, unfortunately. And so at that point, I think, well, you might still believe and you might still love and have love for them. You're you'll be able to go on.
So if she was so in love with him that she still kept his car, still was tracking on the maps, how long did she wait after he was gone
I
before she got into the relationship with the new guy?
here's what I know is whatever answer I say, there's going to be people that say, "Oh, that's too fast. She should have continued to wait." And at the same time, there'd be people been like, "You know what? I get it. You wait for so long. The plane accident happens. You want to believe they're alive, but odds are they're not." And you need to move on with your life because if you don't, you're just going to be miserable forever, right? So, like, ultimately, in the end, she got the reward of knowing that he was alive and that she believed the whole time she was alive, but she had moved on with her life also, unfortunately, at that point. So, like, I don't know. I don't think there's a right answer. It's like, the human beings go through mourning anytime we leave. It's like the joke is, yeah, dogs miss you the second they leave. You leave, Humans are the same way, but we've just trained ourselves emotionally to believe that we're going to get to see people again. So we don't suffer the emotion of grief when me and you don't get together. Like, it's saying see you later doesn't cause the grief the way it could. So yeah, it's my guess is and I don't believe anybody grieves the same, and everybody grieves differently over other things. So I don't see a world where anybody could be upset with moving on after that time frame. But there'll always
See,
be
I
people that have been
calculated
like,
it
"Oh, I've
to,
been forever."
well, I calculated it to a little bit under 2 years before she got into a relationship.
And I think that's fair, like, legit. I mean, like, if you I think you believe for so long that they'll be found and they're alive, and then you probably go through the grieving process, and it's different for everybody. You know, like when my grandfather passed away, my grandmother never dated or found another person and or wanted to. Other you know, other people do. They move on when it happens. And it's all about the personal choices and how you feel. And to judge anybody on those feelings is wrong because that's stuff that we as humans can't understand.
I judged. I broke down the math, how old the kid was, how long it take to get into the marriage, the the fact that he didn't get the ring back that he bought her. He got the car, he didn't get the ring.
That's probably a fair point. But I believe Helen's Hunt character was of outstanding character, and if she still had the ring, she probably would have gave it back to him eventually if he wanted
What you
it.
do, sell it?
Maybe. I mean, what are you gonna
So I think
if you have a diamond ring that someone gave you because they love you and you think they're dead, what are you gonna do with that? And then especially once you go into a new relationship, like what do you do with that? Do you savor that thing? Because that's I mean, the car I get, like I mean the car was probably paid off at that point, why would you get rid of it? And that's a very simple,
and there were
easy
2 great memories in that car.
well, there you go. But yeah, like the car I see. I mean, yeah, the ring, especially you probably keep it until you've gotten past the grieving point, and then once you've gotten into another serious relationship, it looks like it's going to go on. You probably do something else with the ring. You probably don't keep that. But once again, I don't know. I guess my thought is you know, if if I'm the person that is in love with Helen Hunt after that and is moving forward with my life with her, I'm going to be accepting that this has happened to her. And if she still wants to have that because that's a part of who she is now. That history is a part of who she is now. So if that's keeping that as something that makes her feel fulfilled, then that's something I have to be able to accept.
Alright. Now, there is the ending of the movie. I understand the ending, don't get me wrong, I understand why they did it the way they did it, but do you not think that the ending would have been better if she was home when he delivered the package?
Maybe, but it's you know how
Because
how if you're
it shows him finally getting happiness.
yeah, because at that point, I think he felt like he was finally free. That was the one thing that kinda kept him because he saw that box with that special marking on it, and that was, like, the only thing he didn't open. He opened everything else up, and this one, he was like, "This is something special," and he survived. He took that back with him from the boat. I'd like to know how that cardboard box survived the ocean water so well, um,
He wrapped it
but
in the plastic and zip you know, pressure sealed it, vacuum
yeah.
sealed it.
So, anyways, like I said, I I mean, that was what kinda kept him fighting, that's what kept him going, was wanting to take
Well, he
that
wrote this
package
package saved
back.
my life.
Yeah, so he had a lot of feeling because of that package. He had all his feelings in that package.
His
it's like
feelings were in the watch with the picture,
well, but anyways, you know what
but
I
the
mean?
wings on it is what gave him the hope for the sale.
Yeah. So, I would say ultimately you're talking this is, you know once again, it's all theatrics, um, and it's a fun conversation. But yeah, I don't know if it makes the movie any better if she's home at the end or not, because she, of course, is recovering from a cheating husband who she thought enough of to send special gifts with specialty marked boxes. Maybe seeing that box comes back to her and she like goes ballistics and shoots him because she just like maybe it ended so badly with her ex-husband that she's like she sees it and she knows what it is and she just like breaks out a RPG and goes Grand Theft Auto 5 with an RPG on him from short range.
So you're telling me that no part of you is Brad Pitt in that movie?
I don't even remember Brad Pitt in that movie.
What's in the box? What's in the box? Sorry, tying 7 into there.
Oh,
What's in the box?
okay.
I wanna know what's in the box. I'm
It
hoping it
didn't
was divorce papers for her husband, honestly.
no, it was it was like a sculpture or something. Didn't they show, like, her making it in the very beginning, like, and her packing it up? Like, it
No,
was
they
like a
showed her
sculp
making the sculpture that's in her front yard.
well, okay, so I guess I just assumed it
That
was
fucking
so I would say I just assumed it was a sculpture that she was sending to her husband in Russia,
No, she
apparently.
was working on that big wing sculpture that they show right when he walks up the door to drop off the package at the end of the movie. That's what she was making, and the husband's name was missing off the arch on the gate, but hers was
Mm,
still there
okay,
that
so,
they showed
like
at
I
the
said,
beginning of the movie.
I would assume she was sending some kind of sculpture, and being it was from 5 years before the, arch got made, it was probably a not as good a sculpture as she originally planned, because she was still just in her learning phase of her sculpting. She's probably not much better sculptor now
Yeah, because
than she was when she first mailed
you'd
this
hope
one.
so. She's driving around with a welder in the back of her truck.
That's right.
You'd hope she knew how to weld by then. I think the sculpture looked good when they showed it in the yard, but I don't know. That was the Helen Hunt sparked the about an hour long debate last night. So thank you for
You
that.
bet. I'm glad I could
I
help.
appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. And by the end of it, like Helen Hunt, I had no idea what women want by the end of that conversation that I had.
So you're so what you're saying is you are not Mel Gibson.
No, I tried to electrocute myself in the bathtub and everything last night, and it just didn't take.
Well,
I still woke up this morning and I was wrong. That's how it works. And the new bed's gonna kill me. I don't think I'm gonna survive it. I really don't.
that I tell you what,
So
me and
we're
Amy have had the same bed since 2011, and it is fantastic. It it's the Sherman tank of beds, uh, and it sleeps great.
so what'd you think of your shit? We didn't cover something. I apologize. I apologize. Now I gotta fucking find it. But you had questions that I was supposed to answer this week, and I did not. Uno momento, por favor. Where'd it go? Azumi. Remember Azumi? The Japanese sushi and hibachi place
Oh
that we
yeah,
went to. You had
so I was
questions. Yes.
so funny story, real quick. I was telling Amy about this that you were going there, and she was like, "Oh, we went there." I said, "I haven't been there." She's like, "No, that the night that you went to the hockey game with Kobe, and you got so fucking drunk that I got drunk when I smelled your breath. Me and my friends went out there, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fair, and that explains why I don't remember it because that was a brutal, brutal night." Amy was like, "I think all you
Yeah,
had
well,
for
I
supper
woke up in the
was."
hotel room, so
She's like, "I think all you had for food that night was a bucket of bacon." And I'm like, "That's probably not too far off." And I guarantee the shots that I was having at the game didn't help.
no, no, nothing that we had at the game helped, and I don't remember leaving the game for the most part. So I know we went places we shouldn't have, and I don't know how I got back from there, but
Well,
shit happens.
af
I woke
after the
up in my
game,
hotel and we were
we
fine.
didn't go we didn't go anywhere after the game. You went back to your hotel, and I went back to mine. We didn't even go to the bar after that because we were too fucking crocked. I think we both knew we were
You
in
said we were
fucking
going
bad
to
shape.
you said we were
Oh,
going
we
for
said we were
drinks.
going
You said we were
we
going
said
for drinks,
I
and
said it, but we
that's the
didn't
last
do
thing I
it.
remember.
Yeah, we didn't make it
Oh,
that
thank
far.
God.
Yeah, there was no
Good.
drinks after the game.
That's probably the best.
Yeah.
Good. That makes me feel better because there for the longest time I thought I juggernauted it from downtown Des Moines to my hotel,
No, you left right there
and I
from the
don't think I would
arena.
have made it.
Yeah, it was bad.
The old Irish goodbye. Got it. I
Yeah,
love Irish goodbyes. They're great. Good. Good. I did what I was supposed to. I went back to the hotel,
yeah.
standing.
So,
That's
anyways,
normally not
yeah,
the
so
case.
the questions I had now, you can go over them now, I'm sorry.
Okay. So did she tell you how to order the food? How it works?
N not really, no. She just said that was where they
So
went
they
that
put you at
night.
a table. So they put you at a table with your group, right? And they usually keep it about 4 person per table. And they give you a sheet and a pencil or a pen. And then you check mark anything on there that you want, like your table wants. So you order as a group.
Okay,
So you can mark off as many sushi rolls as you want, many appetizers and all that stuff, right? Well, then they leave you a stack of them and a pen. So when you order, you send it in, and then they bring this big ass ship full of sushi and set it down in the middle of the table. And it's a big wooden ship. and on the backside, it's got your ginger and your wasabi on it, and then you literally just, as a group, eat out of the ship,
Okay.
which is pretty cool. It was everything that we had was really good. And then when you want to order again, you just the table check marks on the sheet, you give it back to the guy, and he goes get some more and switches your ship out. But the bathrooms, it I felt like I was in the Death Star a little bit because you walk in and the doors have neon lights that go around them, and so do the like urinals and everything like that. So you're basically in the Death Star when you're going to the bathroom, which I thought was pretty funny. And I will have to say, this has never happened before in my brief 24 years on the planet that I've been alive. I'm only 24, well, I'm 25 now. But I was standing at the urinal and I started to pee. Two strangers start singing happy birthday to me while I'm peeing. And I'm like, well, this is awkward. And then it gets over and they start again. So I get done and put everything away and I walk around the corner to the sink and I'm like, thank you guys. That's the first time anybody has ever sang happy birthday to me in the bathroom. And then I realize that is the song that they taught the kid to sing while she's washing her hands. So she knows how long to wash her hands for. And the guy turns and looks at me and goes, it's your birthday? I'm like, yeah, thanks for the song. He just starts shaking his head. It's like, you're welcome. And this little girl starts singing happy birthday again and starts washing her hands. I'm like, oh, this is fucking awkward. I gotta go tell the
That's
whole table
funny.
now. So
That's funny. That's pretty good.
yeah,
I like it.
it is perfect timing. It is definitely perfect timing. And then it happened to be that table was sitting right across from us as well. And he came back from the bathroom and I think he told his wife because she mean mugged me for a second. And I was still laughing about it with everybody at the table. And then she found it funny. So
Well,
she started laughing as well. But at first she thought, I get it. But no, I thought it was funnier than hell. And then when he got up to leave and the little girl waved at me because she'd been waving at the whole table the whole time, but she was like waving at the table. I'm like, thanks again for the birthday song.
that's funny. I like it.
Yeah, it was good shit. That's the best birthday surprise I've had. I don't know. It was a good time. But no, the inside of the place is rather interesting. They have they're not really little, but they're like 4 foot tall space people, like in the helmets and the outfits, silver with bunny ears. Like it looks like a little rabbit that's holding something on a moon or something somewhere. They have NASA rockets and stuff all over the place in there. Don't understand why, but it looks cool. I got pictures of all of it. I might send them out in some TikToks for you this week. I'd put them on strictly on YouTube, but you'd never watch them,
You're right. I don't.
like everything else.
I
And
forget that I
I've
even have the YouTube.
well, as long as you're not running around on X as Frosty Dingy, we're all right.
Nope,
And I
sure
think that
not.
might get us in trouble. But I did talk to our favorite AI person the other day, and they said that we needed to start posting more on X and following certain genres of people. And I also
Okay.
found out that the Frosty Dinghy got mentioned in a big group site, and that would explain why there's one episode that everybody keeps watching.
I believe I
The
was the one that
Access and Allies group.
I believe I actually mentioned it, is how that happened.
Oh,
I
that you're the
I
one
l
that mentioned it in the A&A? Oh,
Yeah, I mentioned it and I linked the Spotify, I believe, to it. So, like, from that
well, see,
Reddit group, you could just click on the link and listen to the podcast.
well, there you go. Start linking more of them in different Reddit groups then, and that
Well,
will
I
be your
just
job. You will be the Reddit guy.
so I'll be honest, I just if you look to find me on Facebook right now, you will not. I have basically deleted all of my Facebook stuff, unfriended everybody, and got rid of the app. I have deleted the TikTok, I have deleted the Reddit. I am basically here now, and that is it. I found I was getting too
So
unhappy
you
and too
must have done
angry.
that this morning.
I did. I was too unhappy and too angry about everything that's going on in the world, and I was saying things and feeling things that were not good. And so I've decided to eliminate that.
Well, everybody needs a social media break from time to time.
So I actually honestly I
I will
still
just
have
start sending you the important stuff.
So I still have my Facebook account technically active, just because I wanna make sure I get all my pictures off of there, but that's really the only reason I still have as much as I do.
My suggestion on the Facebook thing, I don't care if you're on it or not, but I would at least keep your messenger open so, and probably I would probably leave a blank Facebook page up there just so people from your past can contact you because that's a lot of the ways people track people down anymore is they pull them up on Facebook and say it's somebody from high school that wants to say hi again.
Yeah.
They'll find you and
Well,
just send you a message on Messenger. I mean, even
so
if you don't use it, I would leave that avenue
yeah.
for reconnection up.
So as of right now, I've dropped my friends list to 12 people who are strictly, besides my wife, blood related, basically. And that's it. And like I said, the app is there, but at some point I will go on there and I will save all my pictures, probably to Google Photo or whatever, you know what I mean? But I, uh, I, I was getting too caught up in everything, and everything's so decisive right now that I was saying and feel things that I didn't want to be like. I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't like what I was saying. I didn't like what I was thinking. So I've decided to clear myself of all of it for a while. And I'm sure at some point I'll kick back on. But right now I'm taking a cleansing, a
A lot more
soul.
people should probably do that.
Yeah, I'm taking a cleansing from it because I feel like it wasn't good for me. So
Well, when anything becomes toxic, you need to find a way to shut it down. So I get it. And if it starts making you have toxic thoughts, by all means, that goes for anything, not just social media. But if you're in a bad situation, you need to get out of it.
yep,
That's
absolutely.
how I look at it. Wish I would have remembered that like 15 years ago, but I didn't know better then.
Yeah. Yep. I
Damn
myself
sure didn't listen to anybody.
I feel good about it. So we'll see. Like I said, at some point I might come back to it, but I didn't like things I was reading, writing, saying, I was feeling about people because of what they read, write, and said. I didn't like it. So I just decided to delete it, and then that way it's out of my thoughts.
So I do have a concern. How are you gonna see me talking shit about LeBron James if you don't have Facebook or Angel Reese? This is just gonna be bad.
I guess you'll just have to do it the old way. There's always email forwards.
I will get put in the fucking spam folder again
You can, I guess you can
for
send it via
sending him
snail mail.
hang in there, the little kitty.
You can send the memes, the memes via the snail mail. I think
We'll go
stamps are
back to
out.
the old days. We'll print them out and send
Yes,
them in paper form.
I think stamps might be up to $2.34 now. So, you might want to send multiple at a time.
All right, let's switch gears here a little bit. We're we're over the hour mark, so we need to get you to break down your football for today. Or do you want to
Well,
start with the Indiana national championship game?
so I would say that was awesome. Uh, they, they had an amazing season. They won just about all of their major games on the road. It's not like they got to play the high ranked teams at home and had the home field advantage throughout that. They went on the road and did it. And like we talked about last week, they had a lot of seniors and guys that have been around the game for a long time. And so I think that helped them. So yeah, I think it's an awesome story. And I don't know if it's one we'll be able to see again. Um, Before I deleted stuff this morning, I think I sent you a TikTok about Carson Beck, who was Miami's quarterback, who was in his sixth year, graduated from wherever, Virginia, 4 years or 2 years ago, and spent the last 2 years at Miami, not even really going to college. He's got to take one class to be legally able to play, making $4 million. This is not the
Yep.
college football that we grew up with. So it needs cleaned up, it needs fixed, but it probably won't because it makes money. So,
Yeah, no, I get it. I was not surprised at all when Indiana won it. I did lose money because I did bet right in front of you, but I was only $5. I don't really care. Shit like that happens. So, who do you think's going to win the NFL games today?
well, I think I'm going to go with the Patriots. The only The only NFL team that didn't have a backup throw a pass all year was the Broncos. Um, so I would say that isn't a positive. Um, it's one of those things that part of that is, you know, yeah, it's awesome that, Bo Nix was able to play all season and not miss a snap basically up until him breaking his ankle, which is too bad. Uh, but says a couple of things. To me, that's terrible planning by the head coach. At some point, I know you don't. It's not college. You don't have to get your backups in, or you're not necessarily, not that you have to in college. But if you don't give them some time, it doesn't do them any good at all. You got to get them in a little bit because otherwise, you're strictly basing them being there based off their practice schedules. Um, so he might be a workbook
Yeah.
warrior, if you know what I mean, where yeah, he understands the offense and in the workbook form, but we'll see how he does on the field. So I don't know. So like I said, part of it is to me, it's Sean Payton's fault for not getting getting Jared Stidham any time in the offense at all. I think that's poor planning. Part of it has to do with the fact that they won so many of those games by just one score, where they didn't have the opportunity to pull their starter and enjoy riding it out. Um, which is why I won't be taking the Broncos to go to the playoffs next year because that was their main form. I think what they were like 11-2 or 12-2 in one score games. And actually, if you add in the Broncos game last weekend, it adds another win to that total. All their games were close, and that's something that's usually not repeatable in the NFL. So because of that, I'm going to go with Drake May and Mike Vrabel, who I think should probably win Coach of the Year. Honestly, Vrabel did a hell of a job in New England. NFC side, I've seen some interesting stats, uh, which are kind of amazing. I'm going to get these numbers wrong, but so of the two games this year, they split the games. I believe LA has scored 89 points in the two games, and Seattle scored 88. I believe the yardage, I think LA has had like, I can't remember what the exact yardage was, 820 yards in the two games, and the Seahawks have had 819 yards. Like, there's 1 point difference and 1 yard difference between the two games in their total stats. That's how close this game is going to be. Being it's in Seattle, I'm going to go with Seattle. Uh, Also because I enjoy my marriage, and I don't think I'd be a sleep on the bed if I picked the Rams. But that said, yeah, I think Seattle is probably going to win. They got the home field advantage, and they're really come together. Um, they had a big loss with the running back last week, tearing his ACL, but you still got Kenneth Walker, third there. Um, so hopefully they can find a secondary running back to help carry that load because that'll be a lot for them. But so yeah, I guess we'll be according to me, we'll have a Patriots and Seahawks Super Bowl here in 2 weeks.
Sounds like a good breakdown. I will hear it in post show, I'm sure, because can't hear what you're saying again. So we'll go ahead and wrap her up. Got any final thoughts over there you want to throw out that I won't hear until editing?
I got nothing, buddy. It's always good talking to you, and we'll see you next week. Austin Dingy out.
All right, man. You have a wonderful day. Hope you watch some football, and we will see everybody next week.
It's called Frosty Dinghy, and I'm the dolphin, and you're the flower.
Well, I guess I think it should be Dr. Parker, but